Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Take on Tottenham. My name is Ben, and this is my take on Tottenham. And it's good to know Spurs. I can now, um, in confidence, say they are like a boomerang. Um, I threw it away because we had our up and down team, the inconsistent team that I've known for so many years, and I thought we threw it away. I thought we just got rid of it, and maybe we'd turned a corner. If that's, can we say that maybe? I don't know. 4 or 5 really good weeks of work, absolutely. Then the boomerang, it started coming back. It's coming back, and today we caught it. And unfortunately, for me, I've got my Tottenham back now, which I didn't want. I didn't want it. I threw it away, and I didn't want it to come back, but it did, and that's exactly what's happened today. Full-time result: Tottenham 0, Brighton 1. So frustrating. So frustrating. Just it might be the key word today. Maybe do a count, and someone can let me know in the comment section how many times I say frustrating. But yeah, really, really bad performance. As you know, we'll go through the match, and then we'll rant away probably. So unchanged team, really. Technically, it was changed because Doherty's injured. I think he's out now for the rest of the season, which is quite a big loss. I didn't think I'd be saying that a few weeks ago, but yeah, it's a big loss. He was in good form and was playing really well and was a key part to the team. So that's a big loss for Spurs for Conte. But it's unchanged in the sense that Reguilon came on in the Villa match, and now Reguilon started again today. So. But unchanged side to the win at Villa. Scrappy 10 minutes. Brighton was seeing a lot of the ball. They had a chance. The Davies blocked that sent it wide. They had another chance that Kane blocked, and it was slowly starting to seep into my brain that this might be one of those days. We used to have them occasionally in the Poch, generally a good era, but games like this used to just happen, and it was very frustrating. There's no spark of creativity at all that was happening. Bentancur was especially quiet, I thought, which kind of, in my opinion, was leading towards the lack of creativity up front, because Højbjerg does the dirty work sort of thing, and Bentancur really good at linking play up and picking out passes and whatnot, but he was very quiet today, and I don't think that's a coincidence that the front three didn't have much to go off. Kulusevski, very quiet again today. We'll get into his we'll get into it now. So he had an elbow, and I'm not even going to beat around the bush. I don't know if someone watching this who doesn't know me or my channel would expect me to defend that sort of thing. You can't defend it. It was a joke. He should have been sent off. Just for the action alone, should have been sent off. I think it's poor from the ref. I think it's poor from VAR that Kulusevski wasn't sent off. It was poor from Kulusevski. I don't really know what he's playing at. He's had very good run of form recently. He's been a star for us since he came in. Really hit the ground running. I've been singing his praises every single week. But what on earth was he thinking about throwing his elbow out there? And he is just a lucky boy that he didn't catch him. It kind of coincidentally, it kind of just went in this gap between your jaw and where your neck levels out here, and it just went into that gap and didn't. It might have really mildly grazed. I can't remember the player who it was now. Kukureya? I can't remember. I might have done that name massive injustice. I don't know. But yeah, it was just wrong, and he's so lucky that he didn't make any contact. Really stupid. Absolutely stupid. I can't defend it. I'm not gonna just defend it because he's on my team or anything like that. I don't know what he was playing at. It's infuriating when you see someone do that. It's infuriating when you see it anyway, because you don't want to you don't really want to see that in the game. But it's infuriating when it's your team and to not realise the bigger picture for me. That was what I found annoying. That Decky could have got himself sent off. He's been so pivotal, and obviously in hindsight, it didn't make much difference because we just struggled a lot today anyway. But realise the bigger picture. Realise that our front three is better when you are part of it. Realise that we are a better team when you are in it, and don't do a stupid, selfish action by just acting like I don't know, like a child, and just doing that because you didn't like the way he was it like the chest bump. He threw his chest in there, I think, before the elbow, but it was just stupid. Don't do it. It's just don't. It's just I don't know. He's lucky as well. Very lucky. I can't, as much as I can criticise it, I can say he's very lucky. And I can absolutely feel why Brighton would have felt aggrieved if they'd come out on the other end of this result with a loss or drop points. Why they weren't playing against 10 men, because they should have been at that point. I believe that they could have had a man sent off as well, but I was focusing on Spurs, and I think that was just absolutely just moronic. Bit really. I love Kulusevski, I really do. I've been so impressed with him, but that was just stupid. Really was. Went in, end of the first half at that point. Not good. Not good from Spurs. Look, so lethargic. And they came out, and you're hoping at least Conte, and I presume he would have ripped into them at half time, because deservedly so. I wrote down, it was like watching a Nuno performance, and unfortunately that didn't change by the full-time whistle. They came out and didn't show any change. They showed no urgency. They were lethargic. They were sleepy was the word that kept coming up on the commentary. And I have to agree, Glenn Hoddle made a really good point. They looked like they'd played on Thursday. You know, the old like Europa League sort of playing on a Thursday and a Sunday. They looked like they had. They looked like they played on the Thursday, and like they had the whole week. So frustrating. There's that word again. A little bit better. Sonny had a volley from a Kane long throw. Tipped it up and then took the shot, but it was blocked, unfortunately. Oh god, yeah, free kick. We had a free kick, right? We had a free kick in a really good position. You're thinking, get someone with a left foot to whip this in, like Kulusevski. I can't remember if he was on the pitch at that time. I'm not sure, but just someone with a left foot to just whip it in, or it doesn't even matter, but just whip it in right on the 6-yard box, like on the 6-yard line. Just put it there and see what happens. What did we decide to do on this day that we are lacking creativity? They try a training ground manoeuvre, and of course it didn't work out. It went wrong, and they just lost the ball in the end. It's just like, why? You've got the opportunity to just pump it into the box and see if anyone can get a header on it or get something on it. They're right in front of the keeper, and they try and do some funny old training ground manoeuvre that it's pathetic. We had 0 shots on target after about 55 minutes as well, which is why I brought up the Nuno comparison earlier, because I was just like, it was very reminiscent of a Nuno performance. It just was. There was no creativity. There was no shots on target. There were shots, so maybe it was better than the Nuno performance because we weren't even shooting at the goal at that point. But 2 shots on goal. 2 shots, but 0 on target at that point. At 55 minutes in, with Son, Kane, and Kulusevski all in form. No shots on goal after nearly an hour of play. Of course, as soon as I wrote that down, they then decided to take a shot on goal. This is the relationship I have with this team. Sonny had a shot blocked, which was unfortunate. It did look like it was going to go in. It was blocked. Brilliant defending from Brighton. And then Benton Kerr shot from the edge of the box, but it went wide. And they just went back to being lethargic, and they couldn't keep possession either. Højbjerg had a really worked so hard, got a cross in, went across the Region, and he just completely missed the ball. He slid in, and timing was wrong, and he missed the ball. But you'd thought if he got contact, it would have gone in. And then the goal at the end came. Because I didn't really write anything after that. Really, I've not wrote much, but yeah, they conceded. It's a poor goal. It was Trossard. Took the ball. Poor defending. If I have to defend Spurs, I don't really want to at the minute. They deserve the criticism, but if I have to defend Spurs on the goal, it was just unfortunate how the ball bobbled around to come out to Trossard. I think Dyer lost it. Romero lost it, and then he went in for a tackle and then hit his back leg and it put it into the path of Trossard, and then he went through and smashed it into the far side of the goal. And then right after that, Steven Bergwijn popped up and had a glorious chance, and he just volleyed it wide. He just dragged it wide. He should have scored it, absolutely should have. But yeah, and to be honest, if Spurs had even won today, somehow, I would not have. I can categorically tell you, with my hand on my heart, I wouldn't have come onto this video with any form of praise, because I feel like, and you guys know me on this channel, you know, I will call out a bad performance when they've performed bad, be it a win or a loss or a draw or whatever. If they played bad, I will say it. And they played terrible. Even if they had won today, I would have been saying how poor they were. And they were. They wouldn't have deserved to have won. Brighton, and I have to say, you guys know, again, on this channel, if you watch me, you'll know absolutely, for all my criticisms with Spurs at times, I always, if the situation is right for it, in terms of the other team has deserved the victory or whatever, I will absolutely give credit to them. And as I have to with Brighton as well, they were fantastic today. As they were against Arsenal last week, they might try to move down to up to North London, because they've got 6 points. 2 away games at both North London clubs and 6 points from them. And they're both chasing top 4 of those clubs as well. It's mental. But I have to say, they were brilliant. They absolutely did a job on Spurs. They set up tactically to counter any of the threats, and that's why Spurs were so quiet. They took care of midfield, and that's what I said earlier. I felt Spurs were so weak because Bentancur in particular was kept so quiet today. He couldn't link up with anybody, and that's why there was no balls for Kane to run onto, or Sonny or Kulusevski to run onto, because they weren't doing anything. Kane was so poor today. He really was. It wasn't. And annoyingly, I pointed out Paul Merson's comments and stuff, because he said we were a one-man team. It probably looks a bit worse now, but this performance wasn't. We didn't lose because Kane played bad. We lost because the whole team played bad. The only player that I can absolutely give credit to at least trying and giving it a go today was Højbjerg. I thought he was the only shining star today. I thought he tried his hardest in a team of people who put nothing but a lethargic, poor, pathetic performance together. What was that, really? What was it? They can't come off that pitch looking at that going, oh, well, at least we tried, sort of thing. They hardly even peppered Brighton. And this is what I mean. Brighton were fantastic. And like I said, full credit to them. Deserved the win. And if they'd lost, I would have said that they didn't deserve the loss. If they drew, I would have said that they didn't deserve to draw. They fully deserved the 3 points, and rightfully so in terms of football, got them. I'm just annoyed, obviously, it's my team that's given them that. But yeah, Brighton were phenomenal. They set up perfectly to really outdo Spurs and Conte's system and whatnot. And yeah, it's not good. Really not good. Like I said, Højbjerg was the only one who seemed to be trying today. I thought Emerson Royal was okay, but was not great in parts. But I thought, Kulusevski was quiet. Sonny had chances, but again they were blocked. They were well defended. But it wasn't a world-class performance from Sonny. Kane was virtually invisible today. He was hardly doing hardly passing the ball, hardly dropping back, not even taking shots. I don't even remember Kane having a shot on goal, actually. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember really, but I that might be right. Who else? Lucas Moura. Let's talk about Lucas Moura, because he came on, and I was I ain't gonna lie, I was a bit dejected when I saw that because I wanted Bergwijn to come on. I really thought that game was kind of crying out for a Bergwijn, and I think today is going to be one of those days that highlights what Spurs need to do in the transfer window. It's one of those days that we didn't have the depth on the bench to change the game. There was no players to bring on. And that's the problem. Spurs, when they're on it, they're fantastic. They are brilliant and they're great to watch. And they've got a really brilliant front three in Decky, Sonny and Kane. And the starting 11 as well. You know, like I said, we're looking on the best days, on the days that they are flowing and whatnot. And Spurs have a really good team. I'm not just saying it from a biased perspective, and I'm not obviously looking at this match. I'm looking at it just on the whole. Spurs have a good team. They've got Romero and Dyer forming a really good defensive relationship, along with Davies, who has been really good in recent weeks as well. Hugo Lloris, I don't need to say any more. Look at his performance last week. He's a top goalkeeper. I know sometimes he makes mistakes, but on the whole, he's a solid goalkeeper, and I'm really happy that we've got him on a new contract. Reguilon needs to improve. He was really good when he started, but he's kind of dropped down a little bit. But conversely, Sessegnon, I personally think has been really good for Spurs, and before he got his injury, showing a massive improvement going forward, but also defensively. I thought Emerson Royale, I don't really see a future for him at Spurs. I don't think he's good enough. Matt Doherty, on the other hand, has been really good this week. The last couple of weeks. Obviously, like I said, you've got the front three. Rodrigo Bentancur, again, when he's on his A game, he's cool customer type guy. He's brilliant spraying passes around, linking play up, and when he is on it, as I've said today, you see an improvement in the team as a whole, and he's got that important link. And when he's not on it as of today, that's what happens. Højbjerg, like I said, does dirty work, but again, he's proven over the last few weeks that he can get forward and set up goals and start movements forward in transitions. So Spurs have a good team, but it kind of goes as far as the first 11, and that's it. They don't have the depth on the bench to change the game. You look at Man City, and I know, trust me, I am nowhere ever going to be comparing the City squad to Tottenham squad at all. We did the double over them. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I know the situation is different, but just look at the principle side of it. Man City can just bring players off their bench and they change the game. And Pep Guardiola, for example, that's why I don't really pick Man City players in my fantasy Premier League team, because I can't read the mind of Pep Guardiola in terms of who he's going to rotate and who he's going to play. He doesn't really, maybe Cancelo, maybe Ederson aside, like even the players like De Bruyne and Gundogan, Mahrez, Sterling, Jesus, these players that you think, I don't know, they're never guaranteed a starting place, and that's not down to any personal thing. That's just how Pep Guardiola works. He's got the team to rotate, and he works with what's best. And if you are struggling, if you've got a De Bruyne on the bench or a Mahrez, if you could bring that player off the bench in the 75th minute or the 70th minute or the 60th, whatever, those sorts of things can change the game. We didn't have that today. We brought on Lucas and Harry Winks in the moment that I thought we needed to change the game, and to me, they're just not good enough to do that. Lucas Moura, as much as I love him, and I think he's such a great personality around the club and everything like that, he's been struggling lately. He really has been, and he's not starting hardly, but when he comes on, he's not adding anything either. And we've kind of gone back to the Lucas that we had a couple of seasons ago, where he's just kind of running forward, not doing anything. And I've said it in previous videos, you can't hide forever behind the heroics in Amsterdam. You just can't. And we all appreciate it, of course, but we need to see more of an improvement, and we've not seen it for a long time. Harry Winks, I don't know really. I again, another player that I love. He's Tottenham through and through, but I didn't look at that today going, he's going to change the game. Now, yeah, you could throw the counter argument of it couldn't get much worse, could it? Benton Kerr wasn't playing well. It's kind of straight swap, but I was just looking at it going, we're not going to change the game with this. There's nothing going to happen from that substitution. The only one I could think of was Bergwijn, and unfortunately he didn't come on much time left. He came on with 8 minutes to go, and I just thought, I don't know. To me, it showed the lack of depth on Spurs' bench. You can't throw all the pressure on a kid like Dane Scarlett. Believe in his ability. I believe he will be something special for us one day in the future, but it's just not. It's not fair to throw all that pressure on him to go and change a game like that today, and that falls on those big players as well. Your Kanes, your Sons. They need to. These are the games that they need to change, and they need to grab and do that. And no one really stepped up today, apart from Højbjerg, who tried, but no one really in that team stepped up, and they paid the price for it. Really frustrating. I'm sorry for ranting away, but rightfully so. They were very poor. And again, the top four race takes a twist. It's shaping up to be like a movie, really. You've got Arsenal who will now be buoyed on. I put Arsenal down to win this weekend. I think they'll go and win at Southampton, but it'll be interesting, won't it? It's a difficult game, absolutely is. But Chelsea went there and won 6-0 last week. But yeah, it's difficult. And then obviously Arsenal's game in hand. They have 2 games in hand and they're 3 points. Is it 3 points behind? Yeah, they're 3 points behind at the minute. They have 2 games in hand. But one of those games in hand is at Chelsea. At Chelsea, I think. Or is it? I can't remember. I can't remember if it's home or away. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, they've so they've got my laptop's just given up hope as well now. They've got Chelsea as the game in hand, and then Arsenal, Manchester United play each other next week as well, which ideally will end in a draw. That's what we all want as Spurs fans. We want that game to finish level, ideally, but. Or obviously, if any team's going to win, we would want United to win, really, because it would pull Arsenal back a little bit more. Spurs, it's not the end of the world. In terms of the top 4 race, it's not the end of the world. There is going to be plenty more twists and turns, I'm sure. It absolutely will be. I think there's going to be, obviously, it will obviously come down to that North London derby on that Thursday, of course it will. I just want Spurs to get wrapped up before then. I want them to take the pressure off that fixture and be in a place where if they've got a bit of a points cushion, if they lose against Arsenal, it's not going to mean that they'll be overtaken by them. That's where I want Spurs to be. I don't want them to have to decide it on that night, but it's looking like it probably will be. Very frustrating. We've got Brentford away next Saturday, I think it is, 5:30 kickoff. Going to be a difficult game. Christian Eriksen. I'm calling it now. Next week, Christian Eriksen will score against us. I'm going to make that prediction. And it's on video now, so you can come back to that. But I'm thinking he'll probably score. Spurs need to be better. That'll be a very difficult game next week away at Brentford, and they need to handle not only the test of Brentford, but the atmosphere as well, because that place will be bouncing, and that was something. I'm not having a go at the fans at all. I felt, that the atmosphere in a stadium is always reciprocated by what's put out on the pitch, and unfortunately, what came off the pitch today was nothing short of crap and rubbish, and unfortunately, that affected the atmosphere in the stadium. I thought the atmosphere was so flat. But to be fair to them, they had nothing to go off. There was no, it's not like the team were playing very well. They've not really given them anything to actually go off to get the atmosphere going. So, it was just a bad day all around. And hopefully Southampton can get a result. We will see. Got to focus on ourselves and hopefully go to Brentford next week and get a result hopefully. So yeah, if you've liked what you've seen, please hit the subscribe button or the like button or whatever, and I'll see you guys next Saturday, and hopefully we'll be in a better mood and hopefully we'll have a better performance. But yeah, we will wait and see. So I'll see you guys next week, and as always, come on you Spurs.